Now, Qantas, you think Qantas and its staff would have big issues to worry about, particularly after the past 2 years. But it seems some staff through their union have written to Qantas boss Alan Joyce, calling for him to make changes to the airline's uniform policy, such as easing requirements for women to wear makeup and allowing staff to display their pronouns on their name tags. The Australian Services Union argues that Qantas is a major partner of Sydney Mardi Gras, and you personally have a role as a champion of change. This is to Alan Joyce. We think it's time the uniform requirements Qantas has of its employees reflect those commitments. Bronwyn, I'm interested in your thoughts.
Well, basically, we know that people who are flight attendants who might start off the day in high heels, take them off and they get into flats when they're in the air, and that's sensible from health and safety issues as well, because we don't want people to be tripping when they're in charge of an aircraft. But it does seem to me, this pronoun stuff seems to me very peculiar, because where would you put it? I mean, you have your name. You don't speak
have massive
to somebody
name tags.
You don't speak to someone in the third person. You speak in the first person. So they have their name on the tag. And if you're writing up a memorandum and you're talking about someone in the third person, you usually talk about their name. So I don't know where this pronoun on your badge would go, or what it was meant to mean. So I think
it's all about virtue signalling, Bronwyn. It's not about being practical. Nothing with this pronoun business is practical.
We are in a most dangerous time right now of World War III. We've got an alliance between Putin and Xi. We've got an invasion of a democratic country which is fighting for its very existence. We've got such things to worry about, rather than this rather minutiae about what somebody's going to wear in an aircraft as an employee. Employers are entitled to have set standards, but I just find that it's just too simplistic to put this up as something that is important to discuss at a time when so much else is at stake. We're sounding a bit like that John Kerry, who was saying, I hope people don't get their mind off climate change just because there's a war on. I mean, for heaven's sake, where do these people come from?
Well, no, when you've got a barrow to push, things like World War III aren't going to get in the way. So if your interest area is trans activism, you're not going to stop just because Ukraine is being invaded by the Russians. Now, I've got some good news tonight. The Dan Andrews government
hang on a second here.
Okay, well, we've got to move on to Dan. Okay, Nick, what do you want to say about pronouns? I know you're passionate.
Thank you.
Do your emails have
Rita.
pronouns
I mean,
at the end?
You can't introduce me as a proud feminist and then not let me say a thing or two about this topic now, can you? So
go for it.
Look, I think if I'm sure some of you would like to see hostesses back in miniskirts and beehive hairdos, but the world has changed, and I do think that if hostesses don't want to wear makeup or stockings or high heels, that's perfectly fine with me, and I think it'd be perfectly fine with most Australians. As for the pronouns, this is a big thing for some people, and I think you should be more inclusive and more respectful of their wishes. If somebody wants to be able to identify their pronoun and they feel really strongly about it, I don't mind. That's up to them. I don't think we should be having laws against it. I don't think there should be workplace policies against it. Let them be who they want to be.